Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be planting up these planters on the east side of the yard. This is my east garden, and this is the place where I have all of my shade garden. I have my grape with pergola, and we have our concrete fountain in this area. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to plant up those tall brown wrought iron planters that I have underneath each of the windows. I have one on this window and one on the other window, and then I also have that pot that is right next to the gas meter that I'm also going to be planting up. I'm thinking about painting the gas meter cream color to just match the side of the house, but I haven't gotten to that yet, and I'm just for now just ignoring it because I have hostas planted right there in front of it, so it does cover it up by the end of the summer. And here's the other planter under the other window that I'm going to be planting up. So the next step is where I'm going to add dirt into each one of these. Now they already have dirt in them. However, I am going to be adding a little bit additional dirt just because when I am taking out the old plants from last year, they tend to lessen the amount of soil that is in there. And then I also want to refresh it with some of the Biotones starter fertilizer, and I'll use this in every single planter, in the ground, in any hole that I plant a flower or a shrub in. I want to make sure that I am giving it the best nutrients that I can for it to continue to grow through the season. I also use a water soluble fertilizer in the potted plants to just give them an extra boost for the annuals. They really appreciate you giving them a water soluble fertilizer as well, so I always do that. Now the one that I like to use is the Proven Winners soluble fertilizer. I use that for my Proven Winners ones, and I know that it is especially formulated for those Proven Winners annuals. However, I use it as well for my other annuals that I have laying around that is not Proven Winners brand. However, I really do prefer the Proven Winners products just as a whole because I just love how they perform, and they perform really, really good for me. They get very large, and that is also attributed to the fertilizer that you use. So right now I'm just taking cups of my dirt. It is a potting soil. I like this particular brand. I get it at Menards. It's called Master Gardener, and it's in the blue one. It's a potting soil, not the garden soil. The garden soil seems to have too many pieces of bark and wood chips in it. This one is very loose and it feels really nice, and so that is the reason why I stick with this one. I don't want to get a sliver in my hand because of my potting soil. I like to use my hands without gloves. I know that a lot of people like just the feel of the dirt and knowing that you can get your hands around the root ball, but there is also times that I should be wearing gloves that I don't wear them. I was just dealing with some cleanup of some debris, and it had those like little stickers. We used to call them little cockapers that we would get on our socks when we were kids. I got some of those and they stuck into my finger and it really smarted, but I'm very, very rarely will put the gloves on unless I'm working with my severely thorny roses. Then I will put them on, and nothing gets through my leather gloves. They're gauntlet gloves, they're full leather, they are amazing. If I can find out where my son got them for me, I will definitely let you know, but they are definitely a keeper. I love them. So now I'm just kind of laying out the flowers there just to see how I really want them to look. I do have some coleus, and I was attempting at this point to find more coleus that match, and I wasn't able to find exactly how I was going to match them up, like having all three in the back. So I ended up using another variety that was very similar to the other yellow coleus ones that I have here, and it still looks beautiful. I am not too worried about it. And this is, I didn't have really a plan. I had kind of a plan of what I wanted in here, but I'm always changing my mind. So it's nothing surprising for me to move things around a little bit. Here, I'm just trying to work on the other one. This one needed a little bit more soil than the other one did, so it's taking me a little bit more time to get this one done. But I am making it look the exact same as the other one, which is going to be gorgeous once it is done. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Tina and I'm with Dirt Therapy Gardens, Zone 6A in eastern Nebraska. My husband is the one that does all of the physically hard labor. He is the person who helps build the pergolas, decks, ponds, fences, you name it. He does it with his crew. So we also have a product line of concrete pieces that you can have in your yard, such as bird baths, pavers, benches, and urns. And we are always adding to our collection of concrete pieces that we offer. It's a very small amount of items that we offer, but we offer some really great pieces. So if you are in the Omaha area, definitely feel free to reach out to us and we can get an order made for you. Thank you everybody who is returning and watching my videos. I really appreciate everybody that shows up and watches my videos and even comments. I love comments, so please feel free to comment on my videos and things that you would like to see. So I'm going to take you through all of the varieties of these flowers. Now my audio was not working and I was explaining this to you, and I didn't have any noise from background, so I was really excited to share it with you, but unfortunately my audio is out. So this is a type of sweet potato vine. It is not a proven winner's one, but I love the purple burgundy color, and it is going to cover the sides of the planter. So I always like kind of that droop down to give it a little bit more interest. Now this is a proven winner's Super Belle in the white. This is the white color. And it is really nice. It gets to be about 8 to 12 inches tall, and it will really fill in with the purple ones, which are called blue. I think they're Blue Moon. I think that is the color of the purple ones. They do like to be dry in between waterings, so they could also handle full sun to part shade, and this is why this one works really well, because it can handle the evening shade that they're going to get. Yes, it's called Blue Moon Punch is the color of the purple ones. Now, I am going to apologize in advance. I cannot remember the name of the coleus that are in here, but I will be able to flash it up here on the screen, or if you want to give me a shout out, I will definitely let you know if I can't get the name. Now, I did put the plant tag out there, but unfortunately, I am in the middle of dog sitting for my neighbor, and he is not letting me do the voiceover as well as I had hoped. So it's not like I can go outside and look at the plant tag. I'm going to have to just get back to you at another time on those coleus. had a heuchera in this pot, but it did not survive the winter. Typically, they will survive the winter. I don't know what happened. I noticed that it had some leaves that weren't doing so well, so I kind of cut it back, and I think I cut off too much of it and it just died. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and put some purple fountain grass in here. That'll get pretty tall. It will root in very, very heavily, so I will not be able to use this soil next year, but I've had it here for a few years. I'm adding some of the Biotone starter fertilizer and just making sure that I get the whole heuchera root ball out so I can put in the purple fountain grass in this area. It'll look really beautiful. It won't get it as big as it would if you planted it in the landscape. They get very big there, but here it will get to a nice, beautiful spot. And here is a pot that my husband has made me, which is right up against the fence going into Garden Avenue, into the backyard. And I've had multiple different things here. I have had coleus here. I have had purple fountain grass, which I did last year. I have done so many different things because it is kind of a part shade, part sun area. And so I've also learned that it is kind of tough to deal with the dirt in this pot. There is no drainage hole because it's very thick at the bottom, and I have noticed that it'll hold water, especially if it rains really hard. So I've decided that I'm going to go ahead and just put a empty can inside the pot, and that is going to help me be able to just like lift it, go water it, or I can work on getting the water out, but at least the plants will not be sitting straight in water, which was really what the problem was in this pot. I love it. It's very, very heavy and it is very nice. It has a good planting space. The only problem is that it doesn't have the proper drainage in there. Now you'll see that I planted a calla lily. I planted that, but it was really starting to droop over on the one side, and I did not like that way it was looking. So I replaced this with an angelonias, and they are going to hold up so much better. They will still have the height of 12 to 14 inches, but I'm just not liking how this one is falling over. So I have since replaced those with angelonia. Sometimes it's just a trial and error. If you don't like something, just replace it and put something else there. Luckily, I had these angelonias on hand from another project I was doing for a client. So this has turned out to be really pretty, and I really like it. Now we're moving on to the front island in the front yard. So it's what we call our island. And we built this island last year. So I'm still working on putting plants in there. I have a few different plants. I have some hibiscus, hydrangeas. I have some penstemon, and some peonies were left over from last year, and also have some different echinacеas in here. But now I want to plant some of these sweet romance lavenders. They are so pretty, and I'm planting them on both sides. So I have some on the other side of the bean shape over on the underneath the crabapple, or at least closer to the crabapple tree. These ones are over here by the ash tree, and so I really wanted to have some uniformity by having a set of 3 Sweet Romance lavenders on either side. So I'm just putting those in right now, trying to be very mindful of the mulch because this area is already mulched. I'm probably going to touch it up a little bit, but ultimately not too much I will be doing here just because we have a very, very thick layer of mulch in this area already. So the mulch is probably about 4 to 5 inches thick, and that is definitely enough that we don't need to replace any of the mulch this year unless we want to just give it a quick refresh. I'm also having to cut off a little bit of the blooms here, and I know it was really hard for me to cut the blooms off, but they were just not looking so great. I got these at one of the box stores, and I got this set a few days after I did the other ones, and I went back and grabbed these 3 more, and these were the only 3 left, and they looked kind of rough, but I knew that they would be just fine because all of the green was really nice, and there were a couple blooms that were really pretty, so I did leave those on. But the third one, which is all the way over to the left, was the one that looks the worst, and it still kind of looks bad, but it is doing much better. I'm just going out there and making sure that it gets plenty of water and that it'll bounce back. I don't see a problem with it bouncing back at all. So here I'm just making sure that I'm putting the biotone in there, I'm putting the mulch back where it belongs, and these are going to do really well in this flower bed. I also got these Weigelas. I can't remember the exact name of them, but they are such a beautiful plum color, and I thought that they would go really well up here in the front as well. And they don't get too tall. They only get about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So it's not a large Weigela, it's on the smaller side, which is what I really wanted to go for here in the island. I want to keep things kind of on the lower side. Probably the tallest thing that we're going to see here is the hydrangea that I have planted in this section, and also the penstemon. So I got the Weigelas and the Sweet Romance lavenders in, along with those planters on the east garden. I am so happy that I got everything done today. I still have a lot more things to plant, so stay tuned, but I am very happy. So thank you everybody, and we will see you next time. Have a great garden day.